Okay, so Harry Maguire, that's going to be the thing we discuss today. This guy does a lot of talking. He does a lot of talking to the media. I see a lot of talking. I don't see a lot of performances. It's yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one with Harry. I think first and foremost, I can't remember how old he is. I think he's about 29, 30. Man United have got a process now. They've got a process, new ownership. It's a 5-year project for them to try and hopefully at the end of the 5 years to win the title. That would make Harry Maguire 35, 36, 34 if I've got his age wrong. Harry Maguire is not the answer. He's really not, and he's probably going to stay. But I've done a similar video about McTominay being not good enough for Man United. Harry Maguire is the same, and I feel sorry for Harry Maguire because he's kind of, some of it's not his fault. It's not his fault that Ten Hag plays him. It's not his fault that Solskjaer played him a lot towards the end. He is just not Man United level. He's not. Let's be honest. He's not England level either. He would do very well for a West Ham, for a West Ham, and other teams who are mid-table, Fulham, Bournemouth. He would do well for those teams. Man United is a step too far for Harry Maguire, and he's got to stop talking, because whenever he does these interviews where he is so defensive, it fuels everyone else, and everyone else that hates him and doesn't think he's good enough. He's just given them more material, and I feel very sorry for him because, you know, he's not my defender. He plays for Man United, but what do Man United fans think? Is Harry Maguire good enough? And if he was supposedly good enough, how do you know he's not going to be good enough in years to come? I think it would be best for both parties for him to leave, honestly. I think his contract ends next year. He just it has to happen. Don't offer him a new contract. If you have to keep him this year, please get rid of him next year, because he's just not the answer. It's just he's clearly the most defensive, ironically, the most defensive character in football. I've never seen someone so good at defending himself and not actually good at defending in football. Like, it's laughable. This guy does so much talking. He just needs to focus on his football. Even though I know people are still going to slate him and still going to slate his performances, but he's not ever going to be good enough for Man United. He's not putting terrible performances, but it's just, you look at his frame, you look at the speed, you look at everything. It's not Man United level, and he's having all these problems at Man United now, with Man United 8th in the table, 5th, 6th. Could you imagine if United get to a level where they're 3rd and 2nd? Harry Maguire would be nowhere near that team. Nowhere near. And I think if it's unlikely they're going to sell him this year, they're probably going to wait for his contract to end. But if a bid comes in, and let's just say the bid is 10 million or 15 or 20, I know they spent a lot of money on him originally, but please just take the money. Please take the money. Just honestly, even if you make a loss, you're going to make a loss anyway next year, and you're going to have to pay his wages for a year. Just get rid. Just get rid. Honestly, they're building a whole new type of culture at Manchester United, and Harry Maguire is just not the answer. He's really not. He epitomises everything that's wrong with Manchester United at the moment in terms of his quality. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure his attitude's good. But the quality-wise is not there. He just looks so uncomfortable in a Man United shirt. The Man United fans aren't really behind him. They've tried. In fairness to Man United, they've tried. They've tried so hard to back Harry Maguire, and he always seems to do something that really just ruins it, because he's not good enough. He's not, and all the media, the mainstream media, are so like defensive over him as well. I'm not talking about the YouTube media and TalkSport. They seem to be telling it how it is, but the mainstream media, it's like this poor Harry agenda. If that was, I don't remember Raheem Sterling getting this much defence when he was going for a tough time. Why is it Harry Maguire? Why is Harry Maguire get so much protection in this country? I don't understand it. It's not fair to slate others, but Harry Maguire gets a free pass. It's not good enough. And I think for United to get to the level they need to get, Harry Maguire will not be a part of their team. So what are they waiting for? What are they might as well just cut ties with him now. Seriously, they're linked with a lot of defenders. De Ligt might be coming in. Euro's coming. Euro's a kid. He won't be playing week in, week out. But I would rather have Johnny Evans than Harry Maguire. Johnny Evans still ain't the answer by all means. But I'll tell you something. He's a better player than Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans. And even when he left United years ago, I always thought Johnny Evans was highly underrated. And he's not the same player now. I'm not saying he is, but he seems like more of a character that's going to help the younger lads. Keep Evans for another year. Get rid of Maguire. Just get rid of him. And you could have Evans, Euro, Branthwaite's linked, De Ligt. That's 4 defenders. Lissandro Martinez. I've forgotten one of the best defenders in this league. Lissandro Martinez. He's still there. Honestly, just they don't need Harry Maguire. Cut ties, get rid of him, because it's only going to get worse. If he plays more football and makes mistakes, the fans are going to get onto him, and then there's going to be a big headline saying Harry Maguire's getting badly treated. I've seen this cycle. Honestly, get rid, because otherwise they're just holding on to just a wasted place in the team. And I really think they need to cut ties with him. If it's not this season, it should definitely be next season.